Guys, I want to show you this video. This video went viral on the event which took place in Russia last weekend. This video is a video of Vladimir Putin hugging a general of North Korea, which went viral that everyone they're talking about is saying that how come a head of the state have to go and hug a general? This act have left many people asking different questions. Well, we're here to talk about it. But before we get to drive you through our analysis, here's what happened exactly. See it for yourself, then we'll be back with more analysis.
위대한 전승들의 대통령 농직의 열렬한 축하와 동의를 표합니다.
Великой победе разрешите сердечно поздравить вас и выразить самое высокое почтение.
Поздравляю. Всем вашим бойцам.
대통령님 높은 평가에 사의를 표합니다.
Благодарю за вашу высокую оценку.
조선인민군 제 총참모부 부총장장 겸 경찰총장 장장 이상호 안녕하십니까. 당신을 만나 뵙게 돼서 영광입니다.
조선민주공화국 방송 제1부장 겸 정학장 중랑장범 당신을 만나게 되어 영광입니다.
총참모부 어이어군부대 중장 김명철. 당신을 만나게 되어 영광입니다.
총참모부 어이대 소장 어여군부대 소장 신금철 당신을 만나게 되어 영광입니다.
Всем вашим бойцам, нашим героям.
조선민주주의인공화국 혁명정부 대선 신홍철입니다.
Всего доброго. Всего доброго. Поздравляю вас. И всем вашим бойцам самого
감사합니다.
Now, you might ask yourself a question to know, why is this act having a big impact all over around the world and everyone they're talking about it? Well, to rewind a little bit of what was happening during that time was that after they had finished the whole entire event, well, Vladimir Putin, who's the president of Russia, he was busy greeting all the generals who had participated in this ceremony. And he greeted different generals from different countries around the world who attended this ceremony, isn't it? And all of them, the videos is showing it. Vladimir Putin was greeting them by hands, not hugging them, not touching them. He was greeting them by hands. But when it comes to the North Korea delegations, Vladimir Putin did this act by hugging the general who was representing the North Korea. He hugged this person, and that is how everyone they are talking about it. How possible is it? A head of the state, he forgot his duty now, he's busy hugging a general whom his master, who's Kim Jong, never even hugged him. Well, guys, we try to go back in the history of what had just happened recently between the two countries, whether it is Russia or North Korea. We try to understand exactly what happened or what motivated Vladimir Putin in order for him to hug this general in such a way. Then we end up realizing that the first things we have to note from all this, Kim Jong was not there physically. He had sent his delegates. And these delegates, they are the one who have to go and represent him over there in Russia. So, Vladimir Putin hugging this general, it was kind of like him hugging Kim Jong. That is the first thing we note. But secondly, above everything, this was Vladimir Putin trying to show the world the kind of relationship he have with the North Korea leader. We all know that in 2023, Vladimir Putin visited North Korea. And we all know how Vladimir Putin was welcome in that country. More than a king. The image said it all. Guys, this image, it explains everything in white and black. Why? Because Vladimir Putin, he was welcome in North Korea like a king in a very comfortable manner. For the first time, the North Korea leader, Kim Jong, who have to go himself in presence at the airport to welcome Vladimir Putin. He shake his hand and give him a hug. That's something that this leader does not do, because North Korea, we all know that, is not a platform of many countries around the world, many leaders around the world to visit. Because if you visit North Korea today, you must know that the US with its allies tomorrow, they'll consider you as their enemy. So, the leader of North Korea, he have to come and welcome Vladimir Putin himself and give him this warm welcome. See on how Vladimir Putin was exported from the airport to the place where he's supposed to be resting in a very high security measurement. All over around the road, there were no car crossing or anything moving. You could see that Vladimir Putin was even more welcome. He can sleep and rest knowing that nothing bad can happen to him. He passed such a very beautiful time. And all these things was taking place in North Korea when Russia was under sanctions, which was being imposed by the Americans. And they had even launched an arrest warrant against Vladimir Putin, saying that this man need to be arrested immediately in order for us to stop the war in Ukraine. In order for Ukraine to win Russia, we need to stop the man Vladimir Putin. And they cooperate, they work together with the ICC in order for them to launch this arrest warrant against Vladimir Putin, which they did. But the leader of North Korea is like, this is not going to work here with me. I'm not going to betray Vladimir Putin and give him to you guys. So instead, what Kim Jong did, he made sure that Vladimir Putin, he should be welcome in his country. He put the most expensive red carpet for Vladimir Putin to work on it. He took him around to the point that when he wants to drive him, they started disputing, whereby Vladimir Putin is like, no, let me drive you. Him also is like, no, let me drive you. They dispute. At the end of the day, they discussed. They said that, no, I'm going to drive you as we are going. When we come back, me also, I'm going to drive you. That kind of leadership relationship these two individuals have. It is normal for Vladimir Putin also in return to come and say that, okay, no, look guys, yes, I know your leader is not here, but just because you guys, you came all the way from North Korea and you represent him here, this hug I'm giving you to him. So I'm kind of like sending this hug to him through you. That was the sign which Vladimir Putin did. But I see everyone that is talking about it, trying to say things, oh, how come Vladimir Putin, after he had welcomed a military government which came in power not by elections but by military coup, of course, they were referring to Captain Ibrahim Traore, condemning Vladimir Putin that he is supposed not to welcome him. The kind of people we have. And trust me, all these things are being said on their medias, the Western media. No, he's supposed not to welcome Captain Ibrahim Traore because this man is a junta, blah, 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 blah. But, again, they're using their own medias in order for them to say all this nonsense. And someone such as Captain Ibrahim Traore, he have understood this game of the Western through their medias long time ago. And in his interview which he gave in Russia, when they asked him a question, what is his big regrets about the behaviors of the Western, Captain Ibrahim Traore was very clear by saying this.
And look at their speeches. Look at their speeches. Even the French president, always in his speeches, says that young Africans are influenced by Russia. It said, and if you listen to Western media, they spend all their time lying. And look today, through communication, they managed to rewrite history. And as for African history, they schemed everything to spread lies. As a result, some young Africans don't even know the history of Africa or what Africa has accomplished. Some don't even know that our grandparents fought, were put on the front lines as cannon fodder. And when they returned, they were killed like animals. Do people know that when France tested its first atomic bomb, it was black soldiers they placed nearby in the blast radius, listening to radio stations like RFI and France 24. I've been in countries where those radio stations were shut down. But we would use apps to record their news broadcasts so we could listen. But at some point, something clicked. I started to realize that they were conditioning our minds to accept what they wanted. It's their narrative that they want us to learn. And since then, I've started to see things for what they are. And I understood that what they're doing is very dangerous. And today, more than ever, I realize that they have conditioned the minds, especially of Africans. So, you can play a big role in awakening the consciousness of young people so that people understand how the world works.
That is Captain Ibrahim Traore exposing the mafia of the Westerns on how they get to use their media to do a certain kind of propagandas against certain kind of people who are not at their service, people who don't comply with their agendas. So we're not surprised seeing them coming forward, saying that no, Vladimir Putin have hacked this, have done that. It is normal. Putin on his side with the people of Russia, they were celebrating this day because it's a victory day for them after defeating Germany 8 years ago. Who could have imagined that Russia will defeat Germany with a leader such as Hitler on the head of the state? That was something obviously like any country in the world to have celebrated. But there's a lot happen in this ceremony. We get to see Russia introducing even the new latest drone. This drone that keep on defeating Ukraine right now. Americans, they were denying about it, isn't it? Couple of times they said that no, Russia, they can't have this, they don't have this kind of technology for them to invent this kind of drone, blah 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 blah, until this drone was exposed in front of everyone. And these are very strong and latest technology of drones. These drones, they can fly anywhere. You can hit one here and it's gonna reach the US in the White House. And they're not easy to be detected in case if you try maybe like to shoot it before it lands. They're not easy because they can also sense some missiles. Like the moment it's passing, if you send your missiles, it can detect it and run away from it. This kind of technologies, these are the things which the Western now, they are more worried. They don't know what will be coming tomorrow. And they are doing all this kind of propagandas because they know very well that regardless of the effort which Donald Trump have put in place in order for this war to finish in Ukraine, well, Donald Trump, the man was talking too much. He ended up realizing that Russia with Vladimir Putin, they were right after all this time. So now the negotiation, are them willing to negotiate the way that Russia will remain in the right position, or are them willing to give up and remain like losers from all this. We shall see about that, because according to the latest information we have in our possession, Zelensky will be meeting Vladimir Putin for the first time in TK. Yeah, obviously we are used to call it TK, but now they call it TK or something like that. Yeah, so they'll be meeting there in Thursday. So we shall wait and see whether Vladimir Putin is gonna show up or not. But the main purpose here, the Western, they are doing a certain kind of propaganda to destroy Russia's reputation out there. Even though whatever Vladimir Putin did, it has nothing to do with all that. They don't understand. You need to respect your allies. You know, Russia, if you get in a war today, you should understand that it's its allies that will come and defend Russia. Look, the agenda or the list of guests that Vladimir Putin had invited. We're seeing countries such as Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia, Iran, China, North Korea. We are seeing countries which the Western, they have isolated and blacklisted. These countries who are being considered as enemy number one of the Western, the US. These are the countries that Russia tried to build relationship with. These are the countries that Russia is trading with. And these are the people who came all the way from their countries to support Russia on this celebration day. So this obviously is not sitting okay with the Western. They will do everything in their power in order for them to destroy this. Again, people should not pay attention to that. Vladimir Putin argued this general because this general is the right hand. I mean, after Kim Jong, this is the man who's in charge in North Korea then. And Kim Jong sending this man to Russia is like himself representing himself in Russia. So it is normal for him to be hugging. And for me, I don't see anything bad about it, unless those who want to do some kind of propagandas to ruin the reputation of Vladimir Putin. Guys, I think since it is something which everyone were talking about, it was very important that we also come here and have a conversation with you over these matters. We really do appreciate your time. Don't leave watching this video without you liking this video in your numbers. Give us your thumbs up. We'll really do appreciate that. Share your thought with us in your comment section so that we can get to see what you think about this so-called hug that Vladimir Putin had given to this general. I believe that will be all for now. Have a beautiful week and enjoy your time from wherever you are watching us, or workplace or your home. We're looking forward to see you again in our next video. But for now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.